Alright, so we're going to talk about technology in scatter plots. We're going to use a graphing calculator to kind of help us solve some of these problems. So your learning target is I can use a graphing calculator to graph a trend line on a scatter plot. So I'm going to keep this video a little zoomed out a little bit more just because I'm going to be using a calculator a lot. It says, in example 1, it says the table shows the recommended dosage of a particular medicine as related to a person's weight. Graph a scatter plot of the given data, draw the trend line, then predict the dosage for a person weighing 240 pounds. Okay, so we did this on paper in the last video. That's kind of what we were doing last video. This time we're going to do a little bit different. I'm going to show you how to do that during the key concept. So in this key concept here, in order to solve problems where you need to graph a scatter plot, you can use a calculator to help you solve. The first thing you're going to want to do is enter the data into the stat plot. That's S-T-A-T, the stat plot. Then press stat, select edit, and enter the first set of data into L1, then enter the second set of data into L2. So let's take a look at the calculator here. I'm going to put this down. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to press stat. Okay, the stat button is right over here. Oh, you can't even see that. Stat button is right over here. So you're going to press stat. We're going to click enter on edit and enter the first set into L1, so this column, and the second set into L2. Okay, so L1 is going to be our weight in pounds, and we can see that's 90, 100, 110, 125, 140, 155, 170, 180, and finally 200. Okay, and so you're going to list that down, pressing enter after each one. And after you're done with that, you're going to go just hit over and go to list 2, and that's where we put the dosage amounts, right? So we've got 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 53, 60, 66, and 75. Okay? Now, it's very important that each part matches up with each other. For example, this last one is 275. We can see here the weight is 200, the dosage is 75. It's very important that everything matches up. Okay? After we do that, I'm going to put the calculator to the side for a second. The second step is to view the scatter plot. You're going to press second y equals, select plot 1, select on, choose the first, that's the blank there, the first plot type, which is the scatter plot, and identify the correct list for the X list and the Y list. Okay, so let's walk through that here. The first thing we're doing is pressing second y equals, and we have this plot 1 right here. We're going to press enter on it, and we're going to turn that plot on. We're going to choose the first plot, which is our scatter plot. The X list should be our list 1. That's the list 1. Remember, we put in our weights here, and that's our X. Our Y list, we should choose list 2 because that's what we put in for our dosages. Okay, and then this mark thing right here, you can choose whichever one. I'm going to choose the plus here. I recommend choosing the plus or the little square. This little dot here, it doesn't show up too well when you're actually doing that. when you're looking at the graph. Okay. Now this third thing it says is press zoom. Okay, zoom is that third blank, and it says to select zoom stat. That's the 9th option, and then that will be then we'll see our graph on our calculator. So we're gonna go zoom, press zoom, and we're gonna go all the way down to zoom stat. That should be the 9th option. Zoom stat. Press enter. And we see we've got our actual graph then, our scatter plot, put onto the graph, just like what we wanted. Okay? Okay, so now this fourth part, so that's how you graph it on a scatter or on a calculator. The fourth part helps us to find the trend line. Okay, let me move this down just a little bit. So the fourth part, it says to graph or to find the trend line, we press stat and select the calc menu. Select linreg, which is linear regulation, of AX plus B, and then press enter. This will give the values of A and B for the trend line. Okay, so we're going to go, it said to press stat, so we're going to press stat, and remember stat is this button right here. We're going to go over to the calc menu here, and we're going to go down to option number 4, which is linreg. Okay, linear regulation, you know what it says. AX plus B, right? So press enter here, and we are going to, after that we press enter again, and it gives us what the values of A and B are. 0.5079441502 is the value of A, and negative 26.78767453 is the value of B. Okay. This fifth thing that we need to do, though, is we need to enter those values given for A and B, what we just found out, into the y equals in the form of the equation AX plus B. Then we're going to press graph. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm going to write those down real quick, though, so we don't forget them. For A was equal to 0.5079441502, and B was equal to a negative 26.78767453. Okay, now when we go to our y equals, we're going to put those numbers into the form of AX plus B. That means we need to start with A. So A is 0.5079441502. AX plus B now. So now we need to add B, which was negative 26. So negative 26.78767453. Okay, so we plug that into our, you can see here, I plugged it into the y1 here. And then we're going to press graph. And we see we get this line that goes right through the middle. That is our trend line. That is our trend line. Okay, so that was our fifth thing that we had to do. And then this last thing, so we built the trend line, we built the scatter plot, we built the trend line. Now the sixth thing we need to do is to predict. Remember, our problem asks us to predict the dosage for a person weighing 240 pounds. So this last part right here is to predict. We press vars, select Y vars menu, and select one function. Select one Y1 and then select the amount you are predicting for and press enter. Okay, so we're going to press vars. Vars is right next to the clear button here. We're going to go over to Y vars, press function and Y1, and then in parentheses you need to type in 240, which is what we're trying to solve for, right? We're trying to see how much dosage we would need for a person that weighs 240 pounds. Press enter, and we get 95 point, we'll just say 95.1. Okay, so if we go back up here then to the top, to predict the dosage for a weighing 240 pounds, we can say 240 pounds needs 95.1 milligrams. And that's how you solve that. Alright, on the back page here I have a problem that's just like the one on the front page. I want you to try it on your own. See how well you can do. If you need to, look back at the front page to see those steps. Have fun. Good luck.